Welcome back everyone to Data Science for Everyone. Today we're going to be creating up a simple calculator in JavaScript. Let's get started. So specifically we're going to be using an ES6 module to create up and organize our code, and we're going to create up arithmetic operations with and we're going to use a main module for handling the UI interactions. So first off, we have an index.html. We have also a JS directory and a main and a calc operations. So first, let's go on and kind of create up maybe our calculator. Okay, and then we will go on and we'll fill in things as we need them. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to basically have some simple functions, and let's go on and add those in really quickly, like so. And one thing that we want to do, let's also, this is very similar to what we had before, but I would like to add in a little bit extra complexity in here. So instead of just having our division, again, we need help to deal with our divide by 0. So let's do something that lets people know that this is a problem. So let's do something like if b is equal to 0, let's return cannot divide by 0, and else on this we will return a divided by b. Okay, so this is going to be it for our main calculations operations module here. Now let's go on to our main module, and we want to go on and import everything as, and let's just say operations from here /calc operations.js. And so we're going to need to be able to do a couple things here, okay? We need to be able to perform our calculations, and we want to have this in let's have maybe like a switch statement, so we can go through and we can pick, for example, different cases we want: add, subtract, multiply, divide. And we also want something like maybe some a default for some invalid operation, so that it doesn't matter, they have to actually choose something in there. And then we need to also make sure to convert our information that we have. So we want the numbers maybe that people put in. We want to be able to say something like, I don't know, it needs to be a valid number. We want to make sure that it's parsed to be floats. Okay, so we don't just do integer division, that type of stuff. And we also need to go on and also, I'll open this up as well. We need to also have our basic HTML here, and I think we may do that after we do our main JavaScript for now. So let's go on and create this up. So let's go on and get this started. So let's do window dot, and let's call this perform calculation. So this is going to be a function, and it's going to have a couple things here. We want a const, we want a number for 1, and so here again, and actually maybe we want to change these up to like a and b to match here. So we have number a, number b. Okay, so notice we only do these for 2. We're not doing anything more complex. So let's change that up to maybe number a, and we will do parse float document.get element by ID, and we will have this be number a dot value. And again, we haven't created up anything for this yet, but we will here in a bit. And so we're going to go on and copy this. Oops. I'm going to paste that, and we're going to go on and change this to B. We're going to change you to B as well. And then let's also have an operation And this is going to be for the document dot get element by ID, and we're going to call this operation, again, dot value. Okay, good. So the next thing that we are going to want in here is to be able to add in a switch statement for our operation, and we also want to be able to have some result. Okay, so it knows which operation to actually add, which function it's going to do. So for our, again, our operations. So let's do something like let result. So because we want to be able to have a place to store a result, we're going to create up our switch statement here. And it's going to be the operation. We want case of add, and we're going to do result is equal to our operations dot add number A, number B, and then we'll have our break. And then again, we will do this again and again for each case. But let's go on and set the default case before I go on and fill in the rest here. And this one here will be result is equal to invalid operation. And we don't need the break in this instance here. All right, so let me go on and fill this in real quick so we don't waste too much time, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so now we have all of our operations added in. So again, we have our add, subtract, multiply, divide, and again, we have our invalid result. Then the next thing that we're going to want to do is to actually put in and display our result. So let's go on and do that. We'll say something like document.get element by ID, and we want the result. And then we want the inner text here, and we're going to be having this to be result $sign here, and let's say we had it as result. So then that will be the output that we desire there. Okay, so now we have all of this information kind of put together. So now let's go on and build up our HTML. So let's call this calculator example. And let's go on and add in our JavaScript module script, and this is JS main. So we know that it's a module. And let's go on and add in some things to the body here. So first thing that we want is let's actually go on and give it a nice little header here and say something like simple calculator example. And let's add in our inputs here, and we want this to just do everything manually here. So we want our ID for this one to be number A. The type is going to be a number. The step here is going to be any. And let's have a placeholder in here as well. So let's maybe say, what do we want for our placeholder? Say, holder is say number, let's say first number, and then again, we're going to be copying this. We're going to change this up to second number, and then let's go over here and let's change this to number B. Oops. Now we have our inputs. Now we need our selection tool to be able to for our operations. So let's do a select here, and we don't need a name, but we'll call this operation and operation. And inside of this selection, we're going to have a couple different options. Option here and oops. All right, option, and we want our value to equal, let's say, add, and then this would be add. And again, let me go through this really quickly and add these in so we don't waste too much time on them. All right, and we're back. Now, the next thing we want to do here, besides our selection tools, is to add a button here, and we want this to be something to deal with our on click here, and specifically we want it to run this function right here, this perform calculation. And actually, let me go on and copy that over. So now we have this perform calculation to our button, and we'll just say calculate. Okay, now we need a place to actually place our data here. And so this is going to be our ID is equal to result. So all of this should be good. Hopefully we didn't have any typos. So let's do python-m, and we want http.server, and let's go on and open up the window right now. Should go over here and refresh. So now we have first number, second number, add and calculate. So let's add in 4, 5, we want add, and we want calculate. The result is 9. All right, so now let's change this to 4 and 5 and do subtract. -1, 4 and 5 multiply, 20, 4 and 5 divide, we get 0.8. All right, so all of this seems to be working well. I hope you guys like this. So what we talked about here was demonstrating how to build an interactive simple calculator utilizing ES6 modules for JavaScript. We've also looked at our code and organized it into modules for our arithmetic operations and added some UI integrations. Now, we also kept our code base relatively clean and manageable. Now, if you guys like this and you want more of this, please comment, subscribe, and hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.